Hi, I'm Mark. This is my 2022 review for Leo Sun sign and Leo rising. We start the year with Jupiter changing sign and house. Now Jupiter's moving into Pisces. He rules Pisces or co-rules Pisces with Neptune. This is also your 8th house. So this is a time you can benefit from joint resources and other people's resources. It's a good time for business partnerships, it's a good time in relationships, and it's also brilliant for taking out a loan or a mortgage because people are more willing to help you and assist you at this time. Now, the other thing is, it will help you psychologically because the 8th house is about gaining insights. And wherever Jupiter is, he enlarges and expands that. So your psychological awareness will expand and grow, not only of yourself, but also of others. And this can be a great benefit and help in any healing that needs to be done. Now, the other benefit with Jupiter will come later on as he makes a conjunction with Neptune, but we'll talk about that in a bit. On the 14th of January, Mercury, who's in your 7th house, goes retrograde. Now, this time, over the next 3 weeks, will be strained communication. Things will get misinterpreted and misunderstood, so just be careful that you spell everything out properly. But there's good news because 4 days later, Uranus goes direct. He's been retrograde for some time and will now start to move forward. And as he moves forward and gathers momentum, there'll be a slow awakening. There'll be time to put changes into action. It may have felt like you've been going over old ground over recent times when he's been retrograde. And now's the time to invigorate things again. And this is all happening in your 10th house. So this is your career, your destiny, your chosen path and your public standing. Things can all start to move forward in this area over the next few months. And he's direct until the end of August. On the 19th of January, there's another change. This time the moon's nose changed sign and houses. This will be quite influential for you because the North Node, who's been in Gemini in your 11th house, moves into your 10th house. And this is where Uranus is. This is where the eclipses will happen in 2022. Also in the opposite sign of Scorpio because the South Node moves into Scorpio. This is the home area. So one of the things you'll need to do is balance these two. Balance home and work or home and your chosen path, and also to balance the spiritual side with the material side of life. Now these areas, Taurus, Scorpio, the 10th and the 4th house will be areas of tremendous growth over the next year or so as the nodes transit through these signs. Now, the other thing we have to look out for is transits to the North Node during this period, because this will be when doors will open and events will happen. We'll tell you a bit more of that in a minute. From the 4th of February until the end of April, all planets will be moving direct. So this is a great time to tap in to the energies and really go full steam ahead. On the 1st of March, we have a triple conjunction. This is between Pluto, Mars and Venus, and there's very intense energy here. The Mars-Pluto side is intense ambition. And it's in Capricorn as well, so this is an ambitious sign to be in. And it's in your 6th house, so it could be very ambitious at work or within your daily routines. You may want to change, you may want to do a lot more exercise, or you may want to be ambitious with your food and try new dishes and cooking. Whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of intensity around because Venus also makes that aspect of these two. Now with Venus, it's intense desire. There could be desires, could be a very romantic time with your partner if you have a partner, or it could be a time to meet someone new. And you could meet someone connected with the 6th house. This could be through work or your exercise class or someone you come across on your daily travels. But the whole aspect of this is also very creative. It's a good time to inject some creativity into your everyday life. It's a good time to improve your routines and your surroundings where you spend most of your day. And this is very good for change and transformation. So make the most of it and do as much as you can. We've had some fantastic aspects so far in the year, but when we get to the 5th of April, there is one that you need to accept as a challenge, and that you may have to just step aside and let this one pass, so to speak. This is Mars catching up with Saturn. This is in your 7th house. So this affects other people as well as yourself. It might be that you lose vigour, you lose ambition, you lose drive for a while. Maybe you come up against a brick wall, and this brick wall may be someone else putting a limitation on you. So it's best to step back and try and work around this one. If you can't work around it, step back and let it pass. It only lasts for a few days, so let it pass and then you can get back on track. On the 12th of April we have the biggest astrological event of the year. This is the coming together of Jupiter and Neptune. Now this is in Pisces, and this doesn't happen very often. The last time was in 1856. So now we need to look at how this is going to affect you, Leo. Well, it's going to be firing up your imagination. We said earlier about the 8th house and about how shared resources will be coming in, and this will be beneficial for business partnerships, and this is a good time to get together with others and put your ideas together. This will be any way you work with the creative side, if you're a creator or you work in a creative industry or you are an artist or musician, this is going to benefit you greatly. This is going to be fantastic because the imagination will be stirred up and the ideas will be coming through very thick and fast. Now, the other point about this with the 8th house is that it will help you to gel with other people, to work with other people, because you'll have a greater understanding. Your perception and your psychological in-depth analysis will be heightened by this, so you'll be able to analyse things very well, and you'll be able to tune in to that 8th house energy. Now, the conjunction happens at 23 degrees Pisces, and this brings together the creativity and also the diplomacy and the knowledge of these two numbers combined, and together they make 5. 5 is the number for Leo. This is the number of your house, and so you can resonate with this, and this is bringing forth positive change in a creative manner. So this is a great time for you, a great time to bring changes forth and make those transformations. With these two giants coming together, there'll also be an upsurge in spiritual energy and psychological awareness. If you remember, we said 1856 was the last time these two came together. This was the birth of Sigmund Freud, and he did a lot for psychology, bringing in psychoanalytic theories and the like. So the same sort of thing can happen under this one. There'll be cultural changes. There'll be changes in art, and there'll be changes in music and dance and poetry. And this will help to lift us up. Now, the other thing, there'll be an increase in compassion as well. So people will be more understanding and compassionate with each other. And this will help us collectively to get over the hurts of the past 2 years when the pandemic has dominated our lives and gave us so much loss. Then the end of the month, Venus comes together with these two, and she will bring advantages when she touches into Jupiter on the financial and relationship side. And also when she comes to Neptune, this will help with the arts and the visualization of it all. It's a good time to meditate and visualize your new ideas. On the 29th of April, there is another fantastic aspect Jupiter makes with Pluto. This is a sextile, so this is very positive. This is to your 6th house, where Pluto sits. So there's a good time now to make positive changes within your immediate environment, your surroundings. And also to make changes within your daily routines. Your diet, exercise, fitness. We talked about this earlier with the Mars Pluto. Now it's time to put these changes into action. Pluto, with the sextile from Jupiter, has great faith. So you have faith in what you're going to do now. Also, there could be power coming your way, maybe an increase of power or a shift in power that will benefit you. And this will be again in your daily work situation. You just need to make sure that the power you receive or the authority you receive is used wisely. On the 30th of April we have our first eclipse of the year. This is a partial solar eclipse and it's in Taurus. It's in your 10th house as well. This eclipse series belongs to the Saras 6 North series, and it's renowned for promoting relationships with authority figures. So this is good for you in your 10th house. Now, the other part of this eclipse is that it brings opportunities to take responsibility or to accept commitments. Now, being in your 10th house, this could be to do with your work or your public standing. It could be that you have to stand up and speak on behalf of a company or a group. The other thing is, these commitments must be accepted for you to progress. This time, the eclipse is conjunct Uranus, so there could be sudden changes. This could be suddenly thrust you into the limelight. But these changes will also be long-lasting, long-term changes. Although they may happen very quickly, they will be long-lasting. May sees Jupiter moving house and sign again, this time into Aries and into your 9th house. This is a fantastic position for Jupiter because Jupiter rules the 9th house. This is his domain. So you'll gain tremendous advantage from this over the next few months. Now, this will bring opportunities maybe to travel, definitely opportunities to learn new things and perhaps even teach others, share your knowledge. This is also very exciting for religious studies, for philosophy, astrology, anything that broadens the mind and opens up your world. Because Jupiter is there to expand your world now. It could also be time to look at your beliefs and change your beliefs. Moving forward, it may be good to take in a wider view, considering all the responsibilities and the new commitments you'll be taking on. It will probably help you to develop a more worldly view of things. Now, the Jupiter will move back a retrograde into Pisces again, but then by the start of next year he will be in Aries for the rest of the duration. Now, with it being in Aries, there's also an impulsiveness. So you need to be a little bit impulsive. You need to just try things. A little bit of naivety won't hurt because it helps you to embrace new things and to try new things. Too much trepidation, too much Saturn will hold you back and limit you. Mercury goes retrograde on the 10th of May. This is his second term and will be retrograde while the next eclipse happens. And this is a total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So it's a very much different flavour to this one, although it belongs to the same series. And again, it's about taking commitments and responsibilities. But this time it's focused around the home area. And communications will be difficult. There could be misunderstandings again with Mercury going retrograde. And this eclipse is also conjunct the South Node. So this is very much to do with developing your skills, your experience, your past talents, and putting them all to good use now in this life. It may be that with this full moon that there is some difficulties with things coming back from the past. Things that you haven't dealt with might come back to bite you. So you just need to be very careful and be very wary of anything that comes back and is familiar, because we're always working towards the North Node, which is unfamiliar territory. So that's the way we need to be heading. Don't be drawn back into the past. At the end of June, Neptune goes retrograde, and at the end of July, Jupiter does the same. So these planets are quieting down, but Uranus is becoming very active. Now, moving forward with great force, it makes a conjunction with the Moon's North Node. Now, we spoke about this earlier, and this happens in your 10th house. This is the house of career and destiny. This is your chosen path, and there's going to be changes in this area. Uranus may bring sudden changes, or maybe a slow, more deliberate way that these changes happen, event by event. Now, the thing is to stay open to this, because doors will open, things will happen to alter the course of your destiny, and you need to be ready to take opportunities. This is slow transformation happening over some time. Now, the good thing is this will free you up from past limitations. This will help you to break free and be a different person, if you like. Be able to express yourself better and be more confident with who you are. On the 9th of September, Mercury goes retrograde for the third time, but will be direct and full flow by the next eclipse, which is on the 25th of October. Now this eclipse is a partial solar eclipse and belongs to the Saros 6 South series, which is renowned for bringing power and control to you. Now this happens in your 4th house. It could be that you need to take control around the home area, or you may to take control within a family situation. But whatever it is, you need to accept this and to use this, put it to good use. Now the other thing, it develops great strength within relationships. So this could be a time when you can show your worth, and people will admire you for doing this. Now the focus on the fourth house takes it away from the 10th house at this moment in time. There's been a lot of concentration in that 10th house with Uranus, Taurus and everything up that side, but there's now time to get things balanced, and you'll need to concentrate on the home, maybe even a time when you're thinking about moving home or revamping the home, decorating the home. But the focus will definitely be on home and family, and also the past, your roots. So it's a good time also to look into your family history. The last major astrological event of 2022 is a total lunar eclipse. Now this happens in Taurus on the 8th of November. Now, as you've already heard, that this is the same series as the one in October, so the theme is the same, but there's a lot more to this eclipse because there are a lot more planets involved. Now the moon is opposite the sun. The moon is also conjunct the north node and applying to Uranus. So this makes for unusual feelings, unusual things that can come up and happen with that Uranus. Then the opposite is the Sun, and the Sun is conjunct Mercury and applying to Mercury, but also he is bringing in Venus and the South Node. So there's a lot going on here, coming from the past. There's a lot to do with communicating. There's a lot to do with getting things into perspective here with the South Node, using your talents and experience to push towards that moon in the 10th house of destiny, conjunct in Uranus, who we know is going to be opening doors with the North Node for you. But there's another twist to the story. There is Saturn who comes into the equation. He is squaring both ends of this eclipse, which adds another dimension because Saturn forms a T-square. Now T-squares are challenging. They are there for you to learn, and they are hard ways to learn. So we need to negate this a bit. Saturn will bring in the need for responsibility, to bring in the need for commitments and limitations. Saturn will try to control this eclipse. Now, the best way to handle this, and this is I always say, is to plug the empty gap. Now the empty gap is in your 1st house, because Saturn is in the 7th house of relationships. It's squaring the eclipse across the 4th and 10th, so there's a need to balance home and work. The relationship side comes into this, but if you can concentrate on the empty gap, which is the 1st house, and put energy into yourself, so that you either you meditate or you do some exercise, so you keep yourself in peak condition, then this will help take the focus off the other areas of the chart, and you'll be able to deal with them more successfully, because the T will then turn into a cross, as you've got 4 points of focus rather than 3. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If you'd like to leave a message, I'd be glad to hear from you.